All right, let's talk about something huge in the trading world. There's this piece of advice you've probably heard a million times. But what if it's not just wrong? What if it's actually dangerous? Today, we're exploring the myth of trading psychology. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement, right? The very idea that focusing on your emotions could be the thing that's sabotaging you. It goes against everything we're told. But let's just sit with that for a second. What if it's true? So many traders, maybe you included, feel like they're just running in circles. You think you know what the problem is. It's gotta be your emotions, right? Your psychology. But no matter how much you work on it, you just can't seem to get ahead. Well, that right there, that's the psychology trap. Come on, be honest. Does this little cycle look familiar? You have a pretty good week, you're feeling on top of the world, and then bam, one bad day, a couple of dumb trades, and it's all gone. And what's the first thing you say? I got greedy, or I was scared, I revenge traded. You blame your psychology, you read a book on it, and then next week, you do the exact same thing all over again. It's almost our default setting as traders, you know? When things go south, we immediately look inward and blame our mindset. And let's be super clear here. Psychology and mastering your emotions are absolutely crucial to trading success. But, and this is a huge but, only at the right time. Focusing on it too early, that's like putting the cart way, way before the horse. So if psychology isn't problem number one, then what is? Well, for most struggling traders, the real culprit, the thing that's actually keeping you stuck, is the lack of a proven, data-backed edge. This is the thing that separates that cycle of failure from a real path to consistency. Look at this. It really lays out the two paths you can take. The trap, the common path, is trying to fix your emotions when you don't even have a system that's proven to work. And that's just a recipe for endless frustration. The real path is to build and prove your system first. Then, and only then, does the mental game take center stage. You hear this word edge thrown around all the time. But what does it actually mean? It's not some gut feeling or a hot tip. A real edge is your specific, repeatable, and most importantly, tested strategy that gives you a statistical advantage over the long run. It's your personal playbook for how you make money from the market. So here's the bottom line. Trying to be disciplined and patient is completely pointless if the strategy you're trying to execute is broken or unprofitable to begin with. You could have the mindset of a Navy SEAL, but if your boat has a giant hole in it, you're still gonna sink. You have to conquer your edge before you can conquer your emotions. Okay, so that all sounds good, but how do you actually do it? This isn't just some abstract theory. There's a real, concrete, step-by-step process you can follow to build your very own mechanical edge. Here it is, the 5 key steps. You start big, defining your overall approach to the markets. Then you get really specific, building out your individual setups or playbooks with super strict rules. And then you get to the most important part of all, the testing phase. Let's make this real. Your entry rules for a setup can't be vague. It's not, I'll buy when it looks like it's going up. No, an edge looks like this. A checklist of non-negotiable conditions that all have to be met before you even think about clicking the buy button. Now, that testing phase has 2 parts. First, you backtest. You go back in time, look at historical charts, and apply your strict rules over and over to see how they would have performed. Once you've got data, you move to forward testing. This means you're in the live market, but, and this is so important, you're using tiny amounts of money or even just paper trading so that your own emotions don't mess up the data you're trying to collect. And please don't rush this step. I mean, really listen to this. You have to backtest your strategy all the way. This is where you build the unshakable confidence in your system. It's how you prove to yourself with cold, hard data that your edge is real, long before you risk any serious money. So after all of that work, after building, defining, and testing, we finally come full circle, right back to psychology. But now, everything's different. Psychology is no longer the scapegoat for a bad system. Now, it's the final boss. So just picture this. You've done the work, you have the spreadsheets, you have the data, you know, statistically, that your system works over a large number of trades. And now you start to put real money on the line, significant money, the kind of money that makes your palms sweat a little. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet anymore.
That is when psychology becomes the main event. Because when you have a winning system and real money at stake, the only thing standing between you and actually executing your proven edge is you.
At this point, the problems you face are completely different. It's that hesitation, that little pause before you click the button, even though you know your setup is there. It's the fear of taking a small planned loss that's just a part of your system. It's cutting a huge winner short because you're scared of it turning around. This is the real fight. This is the real trading psychology. So let's just tie this all together. Your success or failure as a trader really comes down to one thing. Are you focusing on the right problem at the right time? Honestly, the whole journey can be boiled down to these two steps in this exact order. Step 1, your only focus is on your system and your edge. The goal is to build a mechanical, data-driven process that you can prove actually works. Then, and only after step 1 is done, you move to step 2. Now your focus shifts entirely to your mind, and your goal is to master your own emotions so you can execute that system perfectly. And that leaves us with one final and really critical question that you need to ask yourself. Take a hard look at your own trading journey. Where is your focus right now? Are you actually building and testing a system to find a real edge, or are you just stuck in that trap, just blaming your emotions? The answer to that question might just change everything for you. Thanks for digging into this with me.